In this ActionScript tutorial, we'll be using Flash CS 5.5. Open Flash, open an ActionScript 3.0 Flash file and name it droppingball.fla. Then open an ActionScript file and name it lowercase d droppingball.as. Select the Dropping Ball FLA tab. Under Properties, type Dropping Ball with a lowercase d into the class. Select the Oval tool and create a circle on your stage. To keep the shape in a perfect circle, hold down the Shift key while you draw it. Color it whatever you want. Mine is colored with a gradient. Select the circle using the Selection tool. Right-click your selection, select Convert to Symbol, name it Ball01 with a capital B, with the type as a movie clip and the registration in the upper left corner. Select the Properties tab for Ball01 and give it the instance name of Ball01 with a lowercase b. By default, the stage background is white. You can change it to whatever color you want by clicking on the stage, going to the Properties tab, and selecting a color from the stage color block. Now the Flash movie is all set up for us to start creating the code. With this code, we will create a sense of gravity and collision using the stage borders. Press Ctrl+Enter to test the movie and check for any errors. At this point, there should be no errors. The Flash movie is all set up and prepared. Right now we do not have any gravity or collision because we do not have any ActionScript 3 coded. You just see the circle on the stage. Now we need to create our ActionScript 3 code so that our circle can have some gravity and collision. Select the droppingball.as tab. Create your package and import the classes you will be using for your new class. We will be using a Flash display and Flash events for import. Add your class to your package. The definition of an object class is: a class is a blueprint or template or set of instructions to build a specific type of object. Now you need to add the public function that will be running the entire time the movie is running. Add your object variables. In this case, we only have one for the ball 01. Add your private object variables. These variables will only be called when they are needed. Our gravity and the stage borders are being declared as variables because if we use these variables in more than one function and we need to change the number value, we only need to change it in the variable once. Now we need some functions to describe what our class will be doing. We need to drag the ball around and then drop it. Let's add a move ball and drop ball function. Functions by default are public. The two functions we just added need to be private since they do not need to be constantly running. In order for these functions to be used, they have to be called. Both of these functions will be called when the ball 01 movie interacts with the mouse. Inside the function parentheses, we will tell it to respond to an event with the mouse. Now we need to add event listeners that will listen for an event to happen and tell which function to run. In this case, for our move ball function, we will need a mouse down event, and for our drop ball function, we will need a mouse up event. These two events can happen at any time, so we will need to place the listeners inside our class function, dropping ball, so that they are always being listened for. Press Ctrl plus Enter to test your movie and check for any errors. Your movie should be error-free. If there are errors, make sure you have spelled everything correctly, declared all of your variables so that the instants in the Flash movie are the same as your ActionScript tree, and any other minor mistakes. Press Ctrl plus Enter to test your movie. You should be able to click down on the ball and drag it. When you unclick the ball, it should stop. Notice that if you're holding the ball and your mouse goes off stage, all of your functions stop working. Let's fix that. We will be creating a new mouse event called Mouse Out Stage. The event listener will be in our class's public function, and the mouse out stage will be private. We will add a trace in the function so when we test the movie, we can see in the Output tab that our function is activated. Our event listener does not have a variable at the beginning because it does not need a variable to happen. Press Ctrl plus Enter to test your movie. Whenever you drag your ball outside of the movie, you should see Mouse Out being displayed in your Output tab. Now we need to declare some gravity so that when we let go of our ball, it will fall. Our gravity variable is currently set to 2, but you can make it as fast or as slow as you want. The higher the number, the faster it will fall. Every time a frame is entered, we have 15 frames per second. We want the ball to drop the number our gravity variable is. So we will need to create an event listener and a private function. Now we don't want the ball to have gravity while we are dragging it, so this event listener will be placed in the drop ball function. Let's comment out the trace in our mouse out stage function and add a new trace to our ball gravity function. Press Ctrl Enter to test your movie. Drag and drop your ball. Notice that your output displays ball gravity continuously even if you pick the ball back up. We don't want the gravity to continuously run when we are dragging the ball, so let's remove the event listener when we are dragging the ball. Press Ctrl plus Enter to test your movie. Drag and drop, then drag your ball again. Notice that your output displays ball gravity, but stops while you are dragging the ball. Awesome. Now we can comment out our trace and tell the ball gravity function that ball 01 needs to fall. Press Ctrl plus Enter to test your movie. Our gravity is working, but now we have two problems. When our mouse goes off stage, the ball just sits there and we have no collision. Add the ball01.stopDrag in the event listener for ball gravity to the mouse out stage function so that when the mouse leaves the stage, the ball is no longer being dragged and it will fall. Press Ctrl plus Enter to test your movie. Our mouse out stage issue is fixed, but we still need to have some collision. Right now, the ball can be dragged partially off stage and it falls through the bottom of the floor. Let's fix that. Currently, we have number variables declared that are the same size as the default stage. Flash starts counting from where X and Y coordinates meet in the upper left corner. So our stage top and stage left are equal to 0. If we wanted our border collision to be inside the stage instead of the edge of the stage, we would add positive numbers to 0. Since our stage is currently 550 by 400, our stage right variable is set to 550 and our stage bottom variable is set to 400. If we wanted the right and bottom borders to be inside the stage, we would subtract from the stage width and height. Now we need to add a function to declare these variables as the border. We will also need an event listener to activate this function. Let's use wall collision as our function name and add an event frame listener to our public dropping ball function. We are going to use an if-else-if loop to test our collision on our walls. Our ball 01 and our stage are both aligned in the top left, so if our ball 01's X and Y vertices are less than or equal to our stage top and stage left variables, then it needs to stay equal to the stage top and stage left vertices. Our stage right and stage bottom are a little trickier. Since ball 01 is aligned to the upper left corner, we will need to subtract the width and height from the stage's width and height in order for the ball 01's X and Y vertices to detect the collision in the correct place. We will be detecting if the ball 01's X and Y vertices are greater than or equal to the stage's width minus ball 01's width or stage's height minus ball 01's height. We also need to tell Gravity to stop when it hits the stage bottom. So add the remove event listener for the ball gravity function to the collision of the stage bottom. Now test your movie. If you have any errors in your compiler error tab, check that everything is spelled correctly and that you have the correct parentheses, semicolons, etc. throughout your ActionScript 3 file. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below.